My name is Alwyn Andrews. Right through the eastern seaboard from New Zealand to Southeast Asia. It's not about me, it's about what I'm led to believe is really not common sense. A little bit on the history. Early 1970s, the National Park acquired land around Wilmott. So my land finished up in private ownership. The little speculator who naturally wants to speculate. So he advertised his land for sale. Council latched onto it that this land would not be developed as private land, provided risk. The land was re-advertised with the provider money back and with him. Now, those that didn't think of that, well, it's their own fault. It's like each way back, they have their way out and they have their way out. Saying if it's the right way up, before I can sit back and I can make a lot of money just in the cost of food. Not on. Then the Helensburgh inquiry was held and it found out that land should remain under environmental protection and that 7D would be strengthened. The strengthened 7D was going to go to E2 or E1. If you go to E1, that's National Park, so you'll let people use their land use rights. No one's disputing you having their land use rights. And so, you've got to have this environmental protection. This person acquires land for right change. The land has no existing land use rights, and because people around him have had developed before the land use rights, he wants the same thing. Well, it's like they've got to stop somewhere, and the land was highly protected land, which runs into the creek that runs into the national, through the national park, river. And the council very pivoted staff LA Plan 2009 got about 3,000 support from changing from 7D to E2. Everybody was happy with the place. Somehow, into E3. Now, I get a slip of paper from through the other door. E3 talks about 500 houses at the other end of Helensburgh, a pipeline going through to pump gas. Like if you get a million over west, you get a bleeding which is to blow out to blow up Helensburgh away. So put the gas in there, so either poisonous with the traffic, either blow us up with the pipeline, and if they put a 415 generator in, I worked setting one up at Westwood. 16 megawatt, you could hear from my office half a mile away. This will drive us out of Helensburgh.
All land subject to this review are located totally within the Hacking River catchment, upstream of the Royal National Park. Australia's population is growing, so development is happening in most areas throughout Australia. Yet for decades, state governments, councils, and the Environment Court have resisted this pressure for growth here. Since 1951, various authorities have increased protection. For example, minimum lot sizes have been increased to 100 acres. Industries and activities that have not been permitted and are proposed. For example, agricultural produce industries, correctional centres, crematoria, helipads, bulky goods premises, depots, sex service premises, service apartments, and movable dwellings. All these are new developments that are going to be allowed in this country. So I now feel that we are faced with this question. Should the undeveloped lands in the Hacking catchment be part of this nationwide growth, should development continue to be restricted. Don't think that this plan only allows for 26 new buildings, as this report states. This plan rezones hundreds of acres of land that will allow these many new types of development. 16 of the lots proposed to have a house directly are on blocks 5 acres or bigger. These lots together alone total up nearly 100 acres, and they're not the usual typical rural type lots around town either. All of them are designated as significant vegetation and council's own mapping, which is produced for this plan. So that they're not farmlands around here, they are areas with significant vegetation. In the last 10 years, council actually refused development on 2 of them. The Department of Planning and the Environment Court support council's determination. Yet somehow these 2 and 14 similar allotments, all designated as significant vegetation, will now get a development. Also, the B6 Enterprise Corridor proposed at the intersection of Park Street and the Princess Highway, an area as big as Helensburgh's existing business centre. And look what's been happening there, residential units. That's where the demand is. The Enterprise Corridor allows serviced apartments. In other words, multi-storey apartments. The same has been happening in Helensburgh. That's where the money is nowadays, and the height limit proposed in this new zone is 11 metres. That's at least 3 stories, possibly 4 stories after that. This area is over 600 metres long, from Cemetery Road to the Princess Highway and 150 metres south. Remember also that this isn't the last rezoning proposal, the last for all time in this area. When the next review comes along, as they always do.
Lord Mayor, councillors, ladies and gentlemen, for those who don't know me, my name is Ron Kissell. I have been a local resident in Wilmott for 45 years. I'm for conservation and also for development. Ladies and gentlemen, in my years in Helensburgh, I've been president of the Helensburgh Rugby League, president of the Helensburgh Kissell Soccer Club, a sponsor of Gary, Era, Coalpit and Stanley Park Surf Clubs. So I've been involved in a lot of different things in the community. I believe the 7D land, while we need conservation, we also need room for moving forward. I don't know how many people here have got children in the area. I know that I was brought up one of 5 children, and I can assure you that all 5 are still in Helensburgh. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want your children to stay here, you do have to have some development. To move forward with business, with schools, I know some 30 years ago, 35 years ago, I actually did come to this school. I still support the school, and I come to the presentation every year, and I see the school grow in numbers and the amount of children. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want your children to be able to enjoy Helensburgh where we grew up, where everybody else in this room, and I can see a lot of very familiar faces grew up, we do have to have some development. We do have to have conservation, and I believe looking at the 7D land, it should be looked at on individual bases and judged as such. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't need the 3 minutes. This is all about everyone in Helensburgh and your children having a future to live here as well.